Alrighty. Um, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna set up a couple of things. But today we are gonna be doing a couple different things. Whatever the wind takes us, honestly. I have one thing planned, which is right now I am going to be working on adding some features to Icarus, and we'll see how that goes. My energy might be a little bit off the stream. I'm like I'm on a caffeine crash, but I'm not at the same time, and I'm like getting this like weird mixtures of what's going on. So we'll figure that out, and hopefully we'll just try to have a good time. I low key want to like get some hype music in so I don't fall asleep. So yeah, how's it going, Ripper OS? All right, so we're not working on this project. It's already like cooked. We're gonna be seeding to Icarus, and then we can work on that. And then I can just cursor period and boom. All right. So here's what we're working on right now. I'm gonna hit run. I'm curious what branch I'm on. Um, let's check GitHub desktop and let's make sure we're not getting cooked. Cause what branch is this? Oh, why is that? Okay. Yeah. So okay, this one had Claude code add something, right? Okay. This makes sense. Okay, so what we'll do is that we'll test the Claude Code like addition because I was doing a litmus test for how good Claude Code is, and it added a feature. So we'll do some code review on that, review the code, and then after review that code, we'll keep on working on whatever we've been trying to work out since. Okay. Actually, you know what? I might actually take this to a new branch, and let's just call this branch like what? Um, adding in-game data, because in this branch I'm trying to add in-game data. What am I doing? I'm working on Icarus, and essentially what we're going to be doing today is number one, adding a feature I got a request from a user. So I'll give you guys an update on that. Just give me a second. I want to do code review on this in specific. So I need to publish this branch first, and I'll look at the code. All right, so let's look at the changes made. So I'm just gonna make it so you guys can see this better. Do I do React occasionally? I do like small React projects, but I wouldn't call myself like quote unquote the React guy. Like I can spin up like what a website for you, but I can't like build like a fully. I mean, yes, I did low key, but that was like vibe coded to hell, right? What's it called again? It's called hightailblockpalette.com. And I built this with Next.js using Convex, and essentially a application that lets you create like block palettes for the game Hytale, and it has live sync and all that stuff, basically, with auth as well. So yeah, but back to what we're working on. I need to actually run this project so you guys can see what I'm essentially looking at right now. I just know you're a GitHub warrior. I am a GitHub warrior, low key, bro. If you look at my GitHub, I am the one who knocks. Give me a second. Like I might genuinely be the one who knocks, bro. And I make PRs and I check them myself. It's way too much. But yeah. All right. Okay, let's wait for this to build and we should be fine. Also, y'all did tell me if the music is too loud on y'all's side. Let me just probably turn it down a tad bit. All right. And then we can also I keep forgetting to like watch YouTube chat, bro. Like YouTube chat has to be like the most abandoned thing in history. All right. So the feature that Claude added was like what 2 days ago, whatever, was allowing for bulk deletions. So when I mean bulk, like not bulk deletions, rather bulk redos. So the main issue with my application is I have a fully like working undo and redo system, right? But the issue is that whenever you click the delete all button, everything would be gone and you couldn't get all that data back. So essentially, what I had Claude do was to implement a bulk undo redo system that I felt like I didn't want to do myself, so I was like a little bit lazy. But yeah. Do you have any plans to work in AI development in the future? Not really. I I would love to like yes, like using AI to do stuff is cool, but like in particular of like making AI stuff, like I just couldn't. How's it going, Matt? Yes King, bro. I miss Yes King, bro. R.I.P. the GOAT. Like we genuinely lost out on so many memes, bro. All right. Get items and clear. So what does it do? It gets so it did it to every single so pop agent, pop state. Okay, oh, this is the Claire. Oh, he's like the full Claire. That would make sense. Making a game. I'm working on a tool for a game. So it's called Icarus, the open source Valorant strategy creator. And so the entire point of this tool here is to bring in like Valorant in-game data, so like the characters, the abilities, the map, and being able to represent them and make sure all of the renditions and representations of the ability are 100% accurate to how they behave within the game of Valorant. So if you look at this, boom, like 100% accurate to how it behaves in the game of Valorant, which makes it a very, very useful team for pro teams in particular. Me from the future is yeah, bro. I already use Cloud Code, bro. You put me. I already use Cloud Code. I built this with Cloud Code. I did like a little thing. I built this web app with Cloud Code, and yeah, it works pretty fine. So I like Cloud Code. Is it the goat officially? 670. It's way too expensive. That's my thing. It's way too expensive. So I'm gonna be relegating my use of Cloud Code till I start making the big bucks. So yeah. Unless you're trying to give me a sponsorship, hey, I'm down to shill all day. All right, so we have the bulk deletion. It's all that stuff is handled by action provider. That would make sense, right? So if you go to the where's this at? Action provider, you look right here, and then bulk action data is all represented through here. Okay. And then whenever we redo bulk deletion, oh, we get all this. This makes sense. This makes sense. Okay, that's fine. I got GitHub Copilot Pro for free since student pack is good. What AI tool do you recommend? If you're using GitHub's Copilot Pro or whatever, I would say just use what you can actually use GitHub Copilot Pro with VS Code, and you can use like what I use GPT 5.2 for like just like general use case, and then Opus 4.5 for building stuff. You finally caved? Yeah, I did. But the only reason I caved is because somebody gave me a free trial link for like 7 days. But yeah, it has too many limits as well, and it's way too expensive, bro. I'm probably gonna look into something like open code in the future and see how that goes. All right. Now that we love the AI code, I guess I'm gonna get add. I'm gonna be like added bulk undo and redo, and I'm just gonna take this and add that and push to origin, and then I'm gonna switch back to main, and then I'm honestly gonna start working on stuff then. Okay. All right. So the main thing we want to actually do here is if you take a look at the application right now, I had a feature request from users, and we're just gonna go through those feature requests and see what we can implement like today, type of thing. So I'm just gonna go through these. All right, so custom sizable circles. This was the one that actually got me to be like, yo, I might want to like document myself making this today. This is like a cool idea that's actually working. Am I making an app? Yes, I am. And currently we're addressing like users like feature ideas, and we're seeing whether or not like we can implement them today and get them out like really, really quickly. So for example, this user is saying they want to be the ability to create custom circles, which makes sense. So I would say, because right now the main issue, well, their main issue is that with abilities like this, for example, within the game of Valorant, this ability has two different like parameters. First, it has the radius of when it's actually like in effect, and it has the radius from when it's like detected by people, right? So, like that's information I could technically convey, but it starts like getting out of hand because like now everything has a circle, right? So the user wants a way to be like, yo, I want to be able to define a circle on my own time and be like, yep, this circle is X amount of size or whatever, and I can just like drag and drop it anywhere in the application. And I was like, oh, that is really smart. Like you could just like do whatever you want, which is like what I'm trying to like enforce, not quote unquote enforce, but trying to give people is like freedom of choice, right? And having that freedom of choice is really important. That's why I think that that would be a good like feature to go into in addition to all that stuff. Um, I'm not sure about the way view cones work. You know what? I'm gonna experiment with something for view cones, and it might be a little bit risky per se. I'm not even sure if I can call it risky, but we will see. Because essentially, what I'm thinking about is, um, because if I was gonna add the custom circle feature, the issue with that is that where the fuck do I put it, right? If I add another row, that's like, oh my god, like you know what I mean? What does view cone mean? So view cone is stuff like this. So you see this right here, just essentially just like showing people like where they're able to see visually, right? So this would be like what? This is 90 degrees, whatever the degrees are. So that's how that is. I'm not even sure if the naming is proper within the application. That's a good thing to check. So I'm gonna go through what it's gonna be utility provider, and then the data is actually gonna be in utility widget or utilities rather. Okay, this is where the data is. So it's actually 2060 103. I just messed up the name so bad. That is not the actual radius. So let's go change that. Tool grid, and if you go to the view cone, all right, so you can see, wait, let's scroll down a little bit. Yeah, so it's called view cone 180. It's absolutely not 180. So let's go and take that reference. So it's actually 103 60 20. All right, all right. So this would be 103, and then we'll do 60, and then we'll do 20. So that's more accurate in representing the size. So now if we go through here, it's like, oh, 103, 60, 20. Boom. I mean, when I say 103, it sounds odd, but the reason why it's the exact number 103 is exactly because of the fact that in Valorant, that's your view distance, right? It's 103. So, should I elaborate more? Probably. Should I not? I don't know. Who cares? And again, if you guys have any questions about like coding all that stuff, just hit me up on the stream, talk about it, and then we can have a chat about that in specific. All right, let's look at Okay, so with the custom circle ability, or custom circle feature or whatever, the main issue is that how do I like implement the UI for that? Because this space is already taken up. Have I tried any Linux distros? Yes, I've tried Ubuntu. Did I ever get to do Manjaro? I don't think so. I did Ubuntu definitely, but I'm thinking about like doing like a Linux challenge and trying to use Linux for 2 weeks. So yeah, I think I'll make a video about that in like a couple of days, and we'll see how the response on that goes. Because I've been getting a lot of comments in my videos. Just use Linux, bro, and I'm like, yeah, I've used Linux like once or twice here and there, used it to host servers and all that stuff. But like actually like daily driving Linux is a whole different thing. Like that means I would have to abandon stuff like what playing Valorant and all like just use Linux, which is crazy. Do I like it or nah? I mean, I haven't fully daily Linux. That's the thing though. I never got to daily it. So if I do that challenge, it'll definitely you'll be hearing my frustrations every day. And also, I don't even think I can stream on TikTok uh with on Linux. That's actually like a sub issue as well. All right. Um oh my Archie is really good. Isn't that like the one hold on. That's like an Arch destroy that's like really easy to set up rather? I heard about that. It's what is it? Oh, 20K stars and literally like minimal as fuck readme. Oh yeah, this is good as fuck. Mm. Oh, it's by DHH. Nice. Mm. Do I do this chat? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Just use Debian like a man. People use Debian in 25, bro. Come on. What's the point of using Linux if you can't Aura farm and say you use like Arch? Like genuinely. Like you need to be able to have some sort of like response. All right, let's look into this. Bro, that's it. Bro, I told you guys, bro. Oh, thanks for the follow, Digi. My thing is that I'm in a caffeine crash right now, and I'm literally I don't know why I'm supposed to be like falling asleep. It's literally what 2 p.m. I don't know what's going on. All right, so essentially we've done nothing for like 2 seconds. Or rather, it's because I'm thinking, right? Where should the feature be? Because this entire space is already taken up, right? Mm, mm, it's got me thinking. Got me thinking. Truly. I think there's a couple of things I need to do. Number one, I low-key need to make it so that you can drag stuff like this onto the screen, right? You can't drag them, which is kind of annoying. So I'm gonna do that. Images is kind of like makes sense, right? But stuff like adding text, you should be able to just drag it on and click it as well if you want. So either needs to be like an available option. You could make them smaller and put them on the same row. That is true, but um, mm, or I could low-key compact these. Like I could make it so that when you click a view cone, you'd be prompted to like a smaller view where you like pick like between which one you want. And then that's like compacting space. Because again, the people are first and foremost here to use the characters and less about like things like this in specific, I would say. Because that's really important. Like whenever you think about UI, you need to think about like how things should be done, right? So it would also leave empty space. I mean, it'd be a singular piece of like a singular empty spot is better than no empty spots, than like an entire row of empty spots, if you know what I mean. This seems like a GPT question. Let's ask GPT. This is how I use GPT for my design, guys. All right. I think I did like design or uh nope. Is it this one? Nope. I had a chat about like theme application redesign. I'm wondering what model I use. Gemini 3 Pro. Okay. That's what I use for that. Okay. So this already has context of a bunch of stuff, so I'm just gonna go in and hit up Gemini. So Gemini, I have a question. What's happening is that I want to add an extra button, an extra feature that allows people to define custom circles and ranges, but there's currently no space in my UI to put it. The current like grid that you see at the top is like I would have to add one more thing there, and that would be like, oh my God, I'm extending the height of stuff. That's gonna just cook everything, and I can't seem to find any viable option. What do you think is the hardest part of an engineering degree? If you're thinking about like, actual engineering, like actual like building stuff in an actual engineering degree, I would say Probably like the math y'all have to do is crazy work. Like, and also the fact that like the things you build like kind of impact people's lives as well. Like that's a thing you got to keep in mind. Like engineers are like really, really, really important. Like for programming, you can low-key LARP it, like depending on where you work. If you work at a non-critical area, right? Like some random like website company, you'll be fine. But if you work at like some place like Epic, yeah, you're fucking like some it just depends on like how many lives are at stake at your job, right? Banana bread doing so much math, bro. He's cooked. All right. I'm gonna take a screenshot of my application, and in particular, I'm gonna highlight the points that is making me feel awful. Um. Uh. The red square is the area I was thinking about adding stuff to. All right, that's better. Can't say oops, I did something and someone blows up. What screenshot tool is that? That's called ShareX. Oh yeah, I just had an idea for a feature. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Image from clipboard. And then we'll figure this out. How to do that. Uh, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh. But using Zen since he recommended it, it's been my default since then. Told you, bruh. I don't cap. I gotta make a video on Zen, bro. Make a Zen video. I think something about like you're using the web wrong or something. That's a good like intro. Okay. How do you feel about using AI to learn instead of coding it for you? I feel like you you can't use AI to learn. Wait. Okay, wait. Let me go back. You said, how do you feel about using AI to learn instead of coding it for you? All right, let's think. Let me refactor that sentence. I think that's fire. Like using AI to learn is literally the best benefit of using AI. Like other people like say, okay, just code it from you AI. You're not actually learning shit. Like, sure, that's good for when you want to get to zero to hero very, very fast. But then what happened after, right? You're not actually building meaningful skills is gonna elevate you to the next level, right? Which is really, really important. Screenshot X? No, it's called Share X. Share X. Dun, dun. All right, let's see what GPT is generating here. Blah blah blah. Blah. You have hit the grid limit, and you're forcing a third row. It pushes agent selector down. Don't mess with that vertical balance of my sidebar. Um, the bottom right of the map is not a good place for permanent tool button. When it's time to play area. Blah blah blah. The shapes drop down. The cleanest UI. You currently have separate buttons for line eraser and etc. And you're adding custom circles. You likely already have a zone, area, or shape tool. Group them, and instead of having a single shape at the top level, you can split it into a long press menu that does that stuff. Um, it needs a radius slider, color picker. Don't cram it into the sidebar at all. Have a contextual action that lives on the map itself. How does it work? This is weird. So, a contextual action, what does that mean like UI wise? You have a generic add shape button in the toolbar, maybe replacing one of the less used ones. And interaction when clicked is like a small floating control bar appears at the bottom center of the map, floating above the background, and you get to create your own. That's cool. You can do the same for tools with basic advanced. Oh, this is smart as well. So instead of like having to force all the tools into this one singular context, you could have like a slider, which is like between basic and advanced tools, right? Which would like open more space for adding more things. That's an idea I would think about, right? Having a circle making tool that would ha have a thing on top of it, like what you want to do and customize it, like the Canva moving button. The Canva moving button. Let me go check that out. Canva.com, and we'll look through that. Bye bye. I won't play your games, your games, your games. All right, look at this. I'm just gonna like open a random project here and then look at this. Customize this template. All right. Oh, like the move button here where you can have like all this stuff, right? But the issue with that is that um the circle you're gonna create is actually gonna be one you can move around like this. Like it's gonna be an actual widget in itself. So that's the main issue with that like framework of doing things. Oh, I hate the way my life is. All right, let's think about it a second. Um, let's go back to GPT's recommendations. Let's look at this. My recommendation solution is grouping. You look at icons, you have all this stuff. Zone, visibility, focus, screenshot. Merge, trash bin, and eraser. What? No, we're not doing that. um, merge the eye options into a view settings drop down. This instantly frees up a slot from a new custom circle without changing the grid height at all. Yeah, this is what I was thinking. Was to merge these into a custom drop down themselves, right? Which would be cool, but like um so the thing about this is that the circle that I'm supposed to be creating is gonna be movable like the abilities, right? So it's not gonna be like a drawing I'm gonna draw on the screen. It's actually gonna be a movable, interactable object. All right, let's look at that and we'll see how that goes. Also, guys, Whisper Flow is absolutely peak. I've been like what 10xing my entire life using Whisper Flow. I have like how many words on like this week? Like absolutely crazy amount. Yeah, I've used 20k words on Whisper Flow. Absolutely goated. Like sponsorship aside, I'm not even sponsored by them. I'm gonna give you straight to it. Like this is peak shit, right? What's Whisper Flow? Whisper Flow is a tool that lets you dictate your give me a second, that lets you dictate your words into text. For example, so you see how I was just interacting with Gemini and I just like yapped a ton in like 2 seconds. So whatever I said just automatically got turned into a prompt or like a text rather, right? So I use it like 24/7 all the time for schoolwork, for prompting, for all that stuff because I find it very easy to just like talk about my problems out loud and to sit down, refine it, and like write text, right? So I'm gonna clip that and then we'll try to do that. All right, so let's see. Let's use everything like a silver dart agent smoke. Utility, roll XY coordinates. Add a utility tab. I don't think that's right. It doesn't make sense. Um, And the main reason of this is because like a user wanted to be able to like demonstrate like the radius of like some unspecified thing, choosing actual in-game values, and that's why I'm creating a utility for that. How's it going, Elite Soul? And then maybe this will change Gemini's thinking. Um I don't think so. I don't think this is the right approach for that. The ability fly out if you want it at the top of tool sections because it is a tool. Consolidate the screenshot view and if you have all of this. Oh, the actual view target camera stuff is actually just different view cones, and each of the three buttons is a different radius for each of the view cones, right? So I could technically group them into one like fly out. Is making a calorie tracker app that gets info from an API good before going to college? Yes, I would say yeah. But Bombastic Banana, I would give you a good like honest option. When you want to create a project, I want you to work on something that actually matters to you. Find something in your life that pisses you off and try to aim to fix it, right? That's going to get you the best project. That's going to get you a project you're going to want to work on continuously and improve. That's going to get you a project that people will actually be able to use. So I would say take that approach and you like shortcut your entire journey by like 10x, right? Which is really, really important. But action when clicked or hovered, release a shad pop over, just like we said for the card menu earlier. That lists your three radius options horizontally or vertically. The tight view, blah 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 blah. I mean, this sounds fire, and this makes sense. I wonder in the shad pop over like this. It's this right here. I wonder if we are able to just like not put things in a row. That would be cool. So let's go to the specifically the is it gonna be character or whatever? Player, no. It's gonna be strategy. Strategy tile. And if you look for the shad pop over, well, context menu rather, right? Menu. I'm just gonna jump several layers and we're gonna look at this. So the items are gonna be what? It's gonna be a list of widget items, and it's just gonna build them. Oh, it's just gonna build them vertically. Oh, that's awful. How would I fix that specifically? Can I just put whatever I want in here? No, it has to be a list of menu items. No, oh, no, it's just a list of widgets. It's not necessarily has to be that, right? Items. This has to be a list of widgets, and I mean, let's go to the definition code for this, and then we can read. Is it how many lines is it? Oh, not that many lines. Nice. Okay. So you have a listenable builder that has a padding and all that stuff, and if widget is leading, all that stuff. Um, Rapid in a provider. Do you know any channels that offer good C# tutorials? I don't have too many channels that I know of that do that. I would say depending on what you're doing, you have to go through a certain path because you can do many things with C#, right? All right, let's look at this right here. Okay, so we have a trailing icon. Oh, you guys can't even read the code. Why am I LARPing? Almost max. So you guys can read the code now. You should be able to. And then I'm just gonna zoom in as well. I'm gonna close my chat tab because I'm not using that today. Hide chat there. Thank you. Yeah, remember to do. Yeah, Gomez is right, bro. Project-based learning is literally just peak, bro. You can't like evade the efficiency of it. Let's see. Context menu, effective padding, and we're like, I mean, the reason why we're going through all of this code is to figure out how does this guy do it. Listenable builder, chat, context menu. Boy, wait, wait, what? How did he do that? Oh, that's just a region. Ah. Wait. What? So there is an actual shad context menu item. Oh, let me look at the docs for this. Flutter shad. Yo, Dara just got an idea I can build once I get my PC back for learning. Fire. What's the idea? We're totally not gonna steal it right now on stream. No, I'm trolling. I would never. All right, let's look at this. Oh my god, I should definitely add my application to this. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, can I give an idea to you? Dun, 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 dun. Can I give you an idea? Um, I'm usually against giving you people ideas, but since it's you, Gomez, I'll give you an idea. Um, what do you like to do in general, so I can like direct you towards the right path? You don't have an idea? Like, what are your top 10 interests right now? Top 10 interests. You have to have at least one of them. I'm looking for context menu, right? And then right click here. Ah, right. But if you want the context menu, wait, what region? Um, coding, gym, siege. Okay, now we have something to go off of, right? So coding, gym, siege, coding, gym, siege, coding, gym, siege. What's the link between all of these? Or rather, what's like the one like thing? What's like your number one issue that pisses you off among all of this stuff? Like, what's one thing that just like grinds your gears? Min width, and then we can do that much. Apart from Siege, of course, Siege is Loki just sucks as a game. Is that W LARP? All right, shad context menu region. Um, Probably a good gym tracking app. All the good ones have big limits. All right, I would say literally go ahead and build that. That's the thing, though. I feel like it's a bit weird that um there's a lot of people building gym tracking apps. So this is what I've seen. Like I've seen a lot of people do it, but it seems like there hasn't been like one declarative good one. That's weird, right? There has to be something weird about it that causes that issue. Because the gym tracking app I use is Heavy, right? And Heavy only allows you to have like 4 routines or whatever. So I'm looking like nipped in the bud because I can't put like my PT routine in the same thing as like. So yeah. Oh, you're using Heavy as well. Yeah. I mean, I would say then try to create like a Heavy clone that's just free and open source. Just do my method. Because I mean, the thing though is that you kind of have to like develop an entire library of a bunch of exercises and all that stuff, and that's why Heavy's so cool is that they have all this data for like gym exercises, 3D models representing what's going on. But I'm not gonna scare you too much. But yeah, how's it going, Emran? Yeah. All right, so we're looking at this freaking packet code essentially, and all it does is allows us to see this like place. You know what you do? Make an AI powered gym track. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Make an AI powered gym tracking app. I can't even say that without laughing. I can't say that. All right, all right. I'm not. I'm gonna stop trolling. We ain't cars. Yo, yo, yo. I'm gonna tell him you're dissing him outside. All right, let's go through. Bro, I don't get how people hate house music. It's literally like one of the top 10 like peak music ever. I'm gonna make a video about that, bro. Like, how can you like hate this? It's like there's no bad sides. All right, let's figure out. All right, so enough theorizing, rather. Yeah, enough theorizing. We're just gonna like start doing stuff. So if you look at this here, what did we wrap it in the first place? We wrap it in listenable builder that listens for something, and then we have a shad context menu that has a controller that if it's visible, all that stuff, right? And the controller if it's selected, and we have effective group ID. I mean, on hover area, padding items, all of this stuff, right? Shad button raw. Why do we have a button here? Which is weird. Child expanded, all of this stuff, right? And then we pass the children onto here, items. Let's go into this widget and look at it. Yeah, but does Akiflow have a student discount? It's so expensive. Yeah, they have a student discount, but it's still quite expensive. I'm gonna try to have a chat with the people at Akiflow for a bit, and we'll see how that goes. What am I making right now? I'm making a tool called Icarus. Icarus is an open source Valorant strategy creator. It's a tool to allow Valorant players and esports teams to plan strategies inside the game of Valorant, outside the game of Valorant, and that's essentially what I'm working on right now. and have been for quite some time. Like, wait, let me figure out how much my Aki flow was. It would be profile, settings, like billing or something. I couldn't even tell you. Account, manage billing. Um, yeah, I bought the yearly plan, so it wasn't like crazy. Yeah, I have. There's a student code that's at 40% off. How much was it though? This would be blah blah calculator. It'll be this multiplied by 12, $136. The world of software engineering is so cooked, except from fixing those errors AI can't fix. I wouldn't say it's cooked. I would say if you have the passion, if you're there, and you're willing to constantly evolve and learn to use those tools and learn the limits and really, really just be in the space and actually care about what you're building, you'll be goaded. How's it going, Kaba? Just learn C, bro. Yeah, no, C's goaded. C's goaded. Not terrible. I'm unemployed. Yeah. Okay, if you're unemployed, then this is Loki a big axe. Okay, this is I bought this like with my unemployed nature though, because I already like worked over the summer for that. How's it going, Alizar? Yeah, but I do have a referral code, I believe. I don't even know about this, bruh. Give 25, get 25. Yes. No, I'm not. No. It seem to get. Why is there a dog there? What the? Okay, I'm gonna calm down. I'm good, man. Do you remember me? I say vividly. I haven't streamed in a bit, so like my memory's like absolutely gone. And I'm like many. I can get DHL to give me money when I work, when I go work experience. Nice, nice, nice. Maybe you can get, yeah. DHL will definitely give you money, but they can't scam your ass. All right, we're gonna look at this widget and then we're gonna read its context. So essentially, it's using a shad mouse area that has a group ID that groups shad mouse areas together so they operate as one region. If any member of the group is hit by a particular hover, all members will have their on enter on exit called, and the group ID is null. Only this widget is hit tested. Okay, makes sense. Why encoding? Yes. Um, did I see my app of 1K users? Yes, this is the app of 1K users. So it's called Icarus. It's an open source balance strategy creator, and it's for like esport teams and pro teams and just like general players in general. And it brings all of the Valorant data, so all the characters, all of their abilities, and represents them on the map and makes sure that you can like have a place to take notes and do stuff in. Um, at least for now, we have micro LLMs that are embedded into malware loaders for polymorphism on the fly. Wait, what? That's like crazy work, bruh. How's it going, Mars? What's my favorite language? My favorite language would be darts, but second favorite language besides darts would be what? Um, probably like Java, like a little bit, but it's fine. Yeah, how's it going, Adam? Have you enjoyed your week of Cloud Code? Ready to full vibe yet? Yes, I enjoyed my week of Cloud Code. Am I ready to full vibe yet? Not yet. Number one, we don't have the money for that. Number two, I found that Cloud Code is actually very, very useful for figuring out how to get like how to like find what's going on in the code base, for example. So I was working on a hightail mod actually like a couple of days ago. That's why I was like not streaming a little bit. I was working on a hightail mod, and on day one, hightail modding was absolutely dog shit. There was no docs, there was nothing. So I had to like figure stuff out myself. So I had to like decompile the jar, and I fed a bunch of stuff to Cloud Code. Like, yo, can you give me like overall analysis of what's going on? And then it was pretty good for that. But after that, it was absolutely dog shit because like it just was way too much data for it to handle, right? Which kind of sucked. TypeScript is the best. TypeScript also good as well. All right, let me see. OOP is bad in general. All right, Kaba. All right, all right. This is an OOP only meeting, bruh. I hate Java. I'm forced to use it on a daily basis. Yeah, I would say that Java is like, it's a bit wordy. It has its flaws and stuff, but I still think middle of the road language, right? It's not too bad, not too good. In my 4 years of game development, this is the first time I've heard of Dart. Yeah, Dart is specifically only used within the Flutter like code base and Google's like ad architecture. If you guys don't know what's going on, like Dart is a language developed by Google, and they originally developed it because they wanted an alternative to JavaScript, and they just wanted to have like what static typing and like null safety and something that was just like generally better. And initially in the first like years of Dart, it was only used within Google's ads platform, right? So like that is mostly in Dart. And then eventually Google wanted to develop a framework for like building apps multi-platform. And they were like, okay, we need a language for that. And then they were like, oh, Dart exists, right? So they used Dart, and that's how Dart became more associated with the Flutter ecosystem, essentially. Is that the new headset? No, no, no. It's my same headset. I'm not wearing my AirPods because I can't find the case. So yeah, I'm slowly losing parts of my AirPods. First of all, it was like I couldn't find the left ear. Now I have the right ear, but I don't have the case. It's looking gone, bro. um, I think to follow Pete. I'm a Minecraft plugin developer. I don't like using Java, but I need to learn. Yo, Minecraft plugin developers are good at the like those are like the peak programmers right there. Any advice, junior CS major, barely remember if statements, etc. I want to learn Unreal Engine, no guide. I would say go do it. I would say, hey, learning Unreal Engine with no guide might be a little bit too much. You're gonna definitely have to do some research, searching stuff up. But I would say really, really important things to know, Golden Monkey, is the onion method, which is a process of building out things that was originally developed actually in the game development, which is essentially give me something to open up Excalibur, which is essentially a way of like breaking up your like game or project into like core specific things that you need to work on, and then going outwards and working on the higher things in the background. So I would say get started up with using the onion method to like build your first like quote unquote demo game and see how that goes for you. Um, have I heard of the Ralph loop? Yes, I've heard of the Ralph loop. Yes. Am I into the Ralph loop? 670. I don't know. It's a bit like ishy. I mean, the entire point of the Ralph loop is that you have this one giant like readme.md file, and you like declare sub agents to go ahead and work on those like specific tasks, and then they come back with like a full memory wipe, and then they go through the tasks again. I mean, it's cool. Um, where do you start? I would say just literally Unreal has very good starting points. If you open, I don't have Unreal Engine installed anymore because I stopped Unreal stuff. But if you open Unreal, they have a bunch of like base projects that you can go through and just like look through them and try to recreate what's being done there. And you can get a bunch of like base primitives for your game. So get a really basic game idea and then work towards like getting it done and completed. And whenever you have like a question, hey, how do I do this? Literally go up, search, how do I do this? And then learn the process to do that. And then that's like more knowledge and more ways to like do things, right? Personally, I think C++ bungled their implementation of smart pointers. Yeah, I heard about a lot of stuff about the C++ like stuff, or rather the C++ is it community or like the overseers of the language, like, and how like they keep like adding stuff that's not necessarily what people need. I think it was a talk by the creator of the Jai language that was talking about that. Jai, J-A-I, who cares, right? Language. Thanks, bro. Do they look good on your resume? Yeah, Golden Monkey, I would say, yeah. The only thing that makes something not look good on your resume is if it doesn't look like you put enough effort into it. There's not like, as long as you programmed and you worked on something for a long time and it's shown profits and fruits, it doesn't matter. Who cares, right? Like I know people who put Roblox games on their resume, and it's because they got like a bunch of like users on that. Who cares? Like, you use your programming ability to build something very useful, and you've worked on it for quite a while. It's not something you spun up within 2 days, right? Really, really important. Rust should be used instead of C. All right, Rust and Daedalus just coming into my chat, bruh. I'm trolling. C++ is generally bloatware as a language. Damn. Damn, you're just like taking, you're just killing C++ back and forth, bro. Yeah, but I definitely want to learn Jai sometime. Like, definitely. Once, maybe I'll build a game, like, with no engine, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Jai is definitely on my list of things that just looks cool, right? Maybe Minecraft clone and Jai or something. That would be cool. What languages do you main? Particularly, I'm really heavy into Dart right now because I'm working on a project called Icarus. I've been working on this for like almost a year. Besides that, I do stuff in TypeScript. For example, I just spun up a little project for a Hightail called Hightail Block Palette, which is essentially just like a tool that lets you create block palettes for Hightail. And you can just come in, like add X, Y, Z, and like create a block palette, whatever, right? And then apart from that, I use Python in class. I use Java in class. I'm actually working on a Hightail mod in the background as well. So yes, Java is what I'm working. I'm using actively right now. So yeah, you like C? It's cool for low level programming, but it's definitely LARP. Yeah, C is 100% LARP, bro. Well, it's not 100% LARP. It's somewhat LARP, I would say. Oh, you guys can see how I was like working on my video. Let me close these. All right, close multiple tabs below. And yeah, 159 tabs. Damn. All right. And then that should be done with. Okay. Now we've like wait, hello? Did my browser crash? No, it didn't. Did it? Okay, for a second. All right. Why did I search up Tinder? I was making a video about the programming method, bruh. If you go check my like my freaking what is it video, you'll see. Your YouTube video style is so engaging. Great job showing off your main app. Thank you, man. Yeah, what am I looking for? Wait, did you mean like the actual YouTube video I made or like my my TikToks? Tinder made? I don't make. Okay, okay, okay. All right, guys. Okay, let's look at this. Oh, the YouTube video style. Thank you, bro. The YouTube video Loki took me like a month almost, bro. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you guys some lore. If you look at my programming or whatever, my GitHub chart, you see when I stopped like pushing updates, this is when I was working on the YouTube video. This was like giving me like absolute back shots, bro. And like that was because like I had to re-record the video like almost twice. I think like yeah, twice. Because initially it was supposed to be a talking head video, and then as I was like watching the video, I was like, I should probably just like voice over this, and that would be fire. And then I voiced over the entire video, and then I started like adding text, and the adding text took quite a bit as well. Um, would you would love to work with you on my game 8K on Discord. I don't know if I'm like taking applications for like just doing stuff for games yet, since I'm still working on Icarus and a bunch of other like random side projects. I might not have time for that, but I'll definitely consider it. Cursor annoys me so much because I want to get a student discount because I'm unemployed, but I don't have an EDU account. Damn, I do know someone at Cursor that could help you possibly, but you need an EDU account to even get to that point. So get an EDU account, and I can definitely put you on. What's my favorite language? I would say my favorite language is what is it? Would be Dart, because I've been working on it in a while. How's it going, Udai? You've been making big moves, Udai, bro. I saw the YC application, bro. Yes, me and you are going to YC. You can't, since your school doesn't have an EDU account. What account does it have then? Like, wait, can you creating fake EDU accounts? This has to be something somebody has done, right? There's no shot. Um, can people create fake EDU accounts? Neomail. I mean, okay. I guess this is not. Damn. I just accepted an offer to join Liberty this summer as a SWE and maybe Zon next fall. Ooh! Yes! Yes! We are making it. Okay, give me a second. I gotta do a test. Alright. That's actually fire, bro. Oh my god. W's, big ups. So, during the summer, We are gonna be LARPing. We're gonna be posting videos. Day of a Liberty intern. On the day of an Amazon intern, and I'll show like me making like 20 million billion dollars. I just like LARP all my earnings. Like as an Amazon intern, I earned 100K this semester, and I just like fake all the numbers. Just put one context menu in the inherited widget. What is this guy talking about, man? Wait, let me look at this in specific though. So, just Android setup. This is common issues. Can't find metadata about property. A Flutter plugin that allows reading images and files on the clipboard. So it supports all of these different platforms. And essentially, what does it do? Read and write files. So the file path, pasteboard, write files path, pasteboard.files, print files, read images. Um, this seems weird. I'd love to go to the. Does this have documentation? I would assume zero at this point. Wait, which location are you gonna be at? I'm gonna be in Seattle. Yeah, the day of my life are gonna go crazy. Yes, you should definitely tell that guy to recommend to add school emails that are not just edu. But then it'll be kind of harder to like enforce that. I got 42 random projects from 2023. Gonna play Russian roulette and see which one I added infinite loops to. Bro, the OG projects are definitely like a specimen to behold, bruh. Do what GitHub does. What does GitHub do essentially? Image returns the image data from pasteboard. Text all available platforms. Get text from pasteboard. Is this like image? Huh. So I would technically have to intercept control V, like control V, and then I would like, that's such a freaking packet. But I guess I'll do it. It makes you register the email and then show all types of proof based on how good it is and reliable. Oh, that makes sense. But then it's gonna be like much more work though. All right, let's go and implement this package. Yes, I'm Dara. Yes, I like to add packages to my application. Yes, we are getting backdoored tonight. This seems like valid. All right, let's look at this and then let's get that done. Okay. Terminal. Blip blip blip. Footer pub add pasteboard. Uh, yeah, but they would have a lot more users, allowing European students to get benefits, which would lead to them wanting to deal with them. Yes. The truth is, Cursor actually doesn't want to offer a student discount. I could probably like that's probably the truth. What's my application about? My app is a tool to essentially allow people to what plan strategies within the game of Valorant. So inside of the game, outside of the game, and essentially it's for esports and pro teams and like just like really competitive players in general. Because what it does is that it brings all the characters as well as their abilities and provides visual data that's one-to-one accurate within the game of Valorant. So essentially allowing them to plan like and create strategies. So tools like writing text, drawing, adding images, adding YouTube videos as well, and just creating like one like solid ecosystem for like planning stuff. All right, and the feature I am working on right now should be allowing people to command V, just like control V, and just paste stuff in, right? And all of my shortcuts and keybinds are handled through this file right here. Okay, let's go and fix that. So it's gonna be shortcuts. shortcut info.dart, and this handles all of my shortcuts. So let's do this. Oh, this is what follows, guys. So it'll be class, and it's gonna be paste intent, all right? Pasteboard intent. I'm gonna do extends intent, and then we're gonna do this much, and then const pasteboard intent, and then this is we're gonna have to add a keyboard. So not V, but rather Control V, right? How do I put like two logical key set, and then you can actually put okay. Control, and then that's better. All right, I'm gonna see you soon. All right, see you, alien. Control V. I'm gonna copy. And if you guys have any questions, comp sci or coding related, just like drop it in the chat as well. I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna override this. And then we're gonna do this. And then what is this? Enter text. This is gonna be called what? Do nothing and stop propagation intent, which would make sense. Okay, so now when I'm typing, I'm gonna be like blah 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 blah. Undo. Uh-oh. We've cooked ourselves. Okay, let's fix that. So I'm gonna take this initially and comment that out as well. And now when I type, can I undo it? Could I even undo and redo in the first place? Oh wait, why am I checking for undo and redo? That's like not a thing. Rather copying and pasting. So I'm gonna take this. Wait, why is it so hard to like select text here? I did not know it was that hard. Oh my god. How's it going, Vlado? All right. And okay. Now we're gonna just like undo what we've just done. And I'm just gonna come in. I'm gonna try to paste stuff. Okay, pasting works perfectly fine for text. That's cool. All right, let's look at so now that we've had this like shortcut implemented, what we have to do is we have to go to the global shortcuts. So this file handles every single shortcut or key bind within the application. So like having undo and redo binds for like when you move abilities and all that stuff is all bind into one thing. Didn't you say we are gonna make the circle thing? Yes, but I switched my mind because this feature is actually like 10 times more important than the circle thing. The circle thing was technically just like a hunch of a feature and not an actual thing I want. All right, and then we can get that done. Let's see what we can get done today. Okay, we can get this done. All right, so I'm just gonna add a intent here. So it's gonna be right here, and we're gonna do pasteboard intent, and we're gonna like wrap it in all of these. So write a comma. It's gonna be mad at me because this is not like a parameter that exists, and we can just can we even reference? Is this a thing we can reference? Clipboard services. Oh, that's cool. What is this feature? So the feature we're working on is essentially allowing people to just like, let's say I want to copy an image from my files or whatever, right? I copy an image, right? And I just want to be able to take that image and just paste it. Like literally just paste it, control command V, and it just gets pasted in there. So yeah. Mm-hmm. How's it going, Anne? Oh, water came out of my mouth. All right. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to lie here essentially. Um, I wonder if this works. Clipboard.text. Can you even do that? I'd have to do like what away blah blah blah, and then and then it would be that, and then it'd be like what UID v4. I just want to test if this like vibe coded like stuff that just came out works. All right, I'm gonna come in paste. Is there an error? Debug console, no errors at all actually. We can log like I triggered or something. How do you barely use your mouse and move like that? Move like that where? Like wait. Like where do I barely use my mouse? Cause all right, one thing I want to check is okay. I'm gonna command paste. Did we get it even a trigger from the debug console? No, we didn't. I'd love to hit a hot reload and get that in. Like move around the IDE because I can't see your mouse. Oh, like opening files, I just do command P. Oh, you can't see my mouse? Oh wait, that's weird. Wait, why can't you see my mouse? Oh, wait, that's so weird. Wait, what? This is the first time this has happened. Do I use Vim? No, I don't use Vim, bruh. No. You guys can't see my, but I'm actively using my mouse. I don't know why you guys can't see it. Okay, so I'm gonna copy some like text, and we're gonna do that. I'm just gonna command. Ooh, what does this mean for society? I mean, let's do this. How about we log the. Wait, why didn't this like? Oh, it says pipe create failed. Okay, so whenever this happens, that means we have to restart the entire application. I don't know why that is, but like whenever this happens, updates made to the application just don't like come up. And I'm pretty sure it's because I made a specific override to the way the framework works to allow for performance. So I actually changed something within the framework that like kind of kills stuff. It looked like you were just moving because like without the mouse. Yeah, I guess I was LARPing using NeoVim. All right. Let's look at in specific. I want to check if Flutter versions. I want to know if Flutter version has come out yet or not. Release any releases? No, 3.8. We don't even know what's going on. The beta channel. What's going on in the beta channel right now? Oh, oh, it's in pre-release. Let's fucking go. Okay, we'll wait for that to happen, and then we'll be chill. Yo, any tips for AFE or what do you think helped you? Like to get into AFE or how to succeed in AFE? Like either one of those concepts. Yo, somehow I still have three passes even though I gave you one low. It's actually crazy. Legit, how are you coding 24/7? I like coding. That's the thing. Like I genuinely like enjoy this. So it's like a non-issue for me to program. Like even when I wasn't streaming these past 2 days, I was coding. I was actually working on a high tail mod specifically. So I just find things that interest me and I just go and like code. Like it's actually interesting for me to me. Dun, 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 dun. I'm a bit confused. Getting into AFE, I would say tips for getting into AFE is number one, you like they evaluate academic performance, but I don't think academic performance pays too much of like a quote unquote goal into it because number one, I had a what a 3.5 or 3.7 GPA unweighted in high school and I still got in. The one thing that was really good for me was that I had a bunch of projects. Like I was cranking out these like a freaking maniac, right? So I had like two projects like that were like hallmarks. One would be Icarus, which I was actively working on at that time, and I was talking about how I went through my developer process, and I larped about it on LinkedIn a lot. I talked about it everywhere, right? So Icarus was a good thing. The other thing that was really important was like a project I built called HC Grade Aid, which was a grade calculator for my school system, because my school system like had a grade calculator on an Excel sheet, which was like absolutely like stupid. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna come in and solve that issue. But right, I would say the main thing I did specifically for the questions is that I flipped the questions around. I flipped them around. So essentially, the question was asking you like, if you were to build something to address your society, what would you have done? And I was like, I'm gonna spin this around. I've actually built X, Y, and Z for my community. I talked about the findings I did for that, and I believe that was like a probably a major point in like my like application. They're probably like, yo, this is absolutely peak, right? So that's how I would say I quote unquote cracked the application. Pause, but you know what I mean. Did you find coding unfun when you were learning or nah? I would say on yes and no. It depends. Like whenever I was like frustrated, I couldn't get something done. Yes, it starts to become unfun, but I was less frustrated on the code and more on myself on my inability to do X, Y, and Z. Right. I would say the best way to get programming to be fun is to like build or work in a system where you can get instant feedback loops, where you can change X and see Y happen immediately. That's really good for engagement with your brain because your brain is like what you're at the end of the day, you're a monkey, right? You want that dopamine. So if you can like literally get that dopamine every like 2 seconds, you change something, you're like, wow, it's just like you keep running that cycle. And over time, as you like get more into programming, you're more willing to extend the delay the dopamine, right, to get the work done, right? So that's essentially just how it is. But aren't you in uni? Surely you got some work there. Yeah, I have work on at uni. I just like balance it out. Like, but it does get out of hand. My most famous story I always tell everybody is that 2 days before my finals exams, I was coding for 20 hours in total over 2 days. I made a 10,000 line change to my repo. Was it the best decision? No. Did I have fun? Yes. So I couldn't even tell you how I did that. I still managed to like pass on my finals, which was absolutely good. But still, it was definitely not the best idea. Um, you learn how to use IDA Pro and Cheat Engine to make Python bots and like self bots. Nice, nice. Bro, Cheat Engine was low key like I swear to God, Cheat Engine never worked for me, bro. Because I wanted to use Cheat Engine back in the days, like what, 2018, 2019, for Asphalt 8. Because the game was so grindy and I wanted to get like the best cars. Even though I had like what, 600 hours in the game, I just couldn't get it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna exploit money. Like who cares? I'm not paying for shit, right? And then it never worked. So that's my sad story right there. Dopamine equals banana. Exactly. One of your vids popped up on my Instagram Reels. Yes, bro, I'm grinding Instagram Reels now. We're actually getting traction on Instagram. Lua was part with so yeah, Lua's syntax is absolutely goaded. Like for people learning, it's very easy to get into. Does it go on average check boy? Um, oh wait, clipboard dot text. I mean, if text equals null, return null. But the fact that the text action, oh, you don't even text, no. Um, wait, why doesn't place text have a definition for the text? Wait, that's so weird. What the freaking packet? Position ID. What? Oh, text. Oh, because it's not public data you can insert in the initializer. Oh, I can do this. All right, let's do that. So we're gonna have what? It's gonna be this dot text equals that, and then I'm just gonna have it be final string text. That shouldn't break anything at all. Broke a couple of things, but that's fine. Um, nope, broke a lot of things actually. It's undefined because the type plate text is from the package, blah blah blah, and oh, well that's not cool, is that? Um, let's see. What if we like switch back to this? Is it Java or Kotlin? This is Dart. Peep the Discord. What happened in Discord? Let's see what exactly is popping in the Discord. Also, if you guys want to talk to me off stream, join the Discord. That's where all the peak happens. $100 for staying loyal to the IDE. Yes, I switch IDEs every 2 minutes. No, it's not an issue. I have like Z in my hotbar. I was using IntelliJ like 2 days ago. I'm on Cursor. I have VS Code in my hotbar as well. I have anti. I'm everywhere. Okay, I'm everywhere. Bro, what the freaking packet is going on? Oh, that makes sense, right? Wait, is it, I think it's because of the fact that it's final, right? If what if it was this instead, where it was string text instead of final string text? Would it break stuff still? Oh, nothing broke. Oh, that's cool. Wait, yeah, absolutely nothing broke. All right, nice. All right. So if I command paste now, I triggered setting unsaved is equal true. Um, I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna clear the current screen. That's probably gonna be helpful to me. How do I join this Discord? Go through my bio. Yeah, the text is not texting. I'm gonna tell you that much. Oh wait, yeah, I need to set the text in. It's gonna be where? We're in shortcut, whatever, right? Shortcut. Global shortcuts. Yeah, I think it's gonna be here, and then we can pass the text data. Yippee! Life is so cool. All right, I'm gonna clear this. Yep, and then I'm gonna do this. Ooh, this is peak. This is peak. All right. I guess that's one of the features we'll be adding. We'll be adding a way for people to add text. Also, why does this just suck to use now? Specifically with editing. Was this always a thing? Like I can't even drag. Oh, I have to be on. No, what? This interaction is so weird. Why is it like that? Let me check my competitor. This is a way to check if I'm cooked. Um, I don't know. I gotta hop off. Thanks for helping me with my idea. Gotcha, man. I got a new PC and can finally make models with PyTorch and make one for UFC 27% edge over chance. Nice, nice. What am I making right now? I am making I'm working on my application called Icarus, it's a open source Valorant strategy creator. So it's more of a tool for a game rather than a game in specific. So essentially, what it does is that it's a app that allows for Valorant pros, Valorant esports teams to plan strategies inside of the game of Valorant, outside of the game of Valorant. And if I can load in a strategy, that would be cool. So give me a second to import one that's already like defined. Also, for some reason, my computer is like bugged out. Whenever I open the file explorer, it just comes to a halt, and it's just like whoa. So this is probably a good one. All right. So essentially allows me to like bring in data from within the game, so stuff like abilities, all the maps, and give them visual representations. For example, this is exactly the range of an ability within the game. So this becomes really, really useful for esports and pro teams because they're able to come in, take actual notes, and have actual in-game accuracy and references. Because, for example, games like Valorant change every month, right? So numbers are always getting tweaked, things are agents are always getting nerfed, buffed, and all that stuff. So you need a place that brings all that data and make sure that you don't have to do any work to maintain those strategies and stuff. Mm-mm. All right, let's go back to what was I? Oh, just look at my competitor. All right, let's check the ops out. If I go into here, add text. All right, hey, that's the one thing they beat me on. Ah, okay. You know what? Um, that's really annoying. That is just real. Oh, maybe not actually. That shouldn't be too hard to implement. I'm lying, by the way. It's gonna be like ultra hard to implement. No, it's fine. I'll fix it eventually. Eventually, TM. Make the dragging behavior with text better by. What am I gonna be doing? How am I gonna fix that? I'm gonna add a ignore pointer to the background when it's being edited. That's gonna fix that. And that should be a fix I can add. All right, nice. And then when we're in the edit mode, it's gonna be like, oh, but you know what I mean. Yep. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. My vibe coding, I don't really vibe code too much. It depends on the project, but for Icarus, the feature I'm adding, it probably wouldn't be best to vibe code it entirely because of the fact that it needs context of my entire application. And so I just write it myself essentially. But for example, I do like what quote unquote experiments where I just test out the limits of all these vibe coding tools. So for example, I built a application in like what 2 days for Hightail with like Claude Code, and it's like fully backend integrated, like live sync and all that stuff, and it was pretty fire. Like I enjoyed working on it and was like peak. So this is the quote unquote vibe coded app I built. Was actually vibe coded. Called Hightail Block Palette. Essentially, it's like a tool that allows people to like come in, create their own like little like block palette or whatever, and like publish it for everyone to see. And it works with like live data sync and all that stuff. And yeah, pretty fire. You asked AI to do that, yes, but the prompt was not like a one shot prompt. Like to be able to do this, you kind of need knowledge of like a bunch of different tools. For example, so I had to use Convex for the database, Next.js for like the main framework for the website. I use Work OS for like auth and all that stuff. So like, you kind of need context of all these different tools and how to use them to put them like together, right? Why is bro all dressed up, bro? I always gotta be dressed up, bro. Like you gotta bring that same energy everywhere. Um, can you tell me the tool for code? For code in specific, I use many different tools. Right now I'm using like what Cursor, and then for like quote unquote vibe coding, I've been switching between Claude Code and just using Cursor depending on the use case or like how I'm feeling about it. Like if it's like small, tiny changes that needs like small bits of context, I'd rather just use like what Cursor. But if it's like large overarching, like we're tearing it down and we're bringing it back up. Claude Code has been pretty good for that. Claude is my new bestie, bruh. Yeah, but I'm still in the middle about Claude for a bit. All right, so what does clipboard data have as a extension? Oh wait, clipboard data dot text. Is it just gonna be a string? Um, services. Oh, get data, and then what other stuff? Can we just get raw data? Oh, and then the format would be what? The format detects what type of media, such as plain text, of the data to obtain. Returns a future where it completes if the data could not be obtained. And so, what formats would it be? Let me look at this. What's the AI name you just did? Uh, did I just do anything AI related? I don't think I did. But I'm using Cursor right now. All right, let's look at this. So, clipboard data. Format. And so how is this format being evaluated? System channels, platform, invoke method, clipboard data format. So format is an argument that specifies the media type, such as text plain or if data to so why don't they tell us like how what other formats they are, right? That would be a cool thing to like show us. Um, name, method. I mean, better Node.js. I mean, Node is pretty like peak in itself now. And let's look at the what am I looking for here? I want to read the docs actually. I might not even read the docs. I might just ask AI about this. All right, give me a second. We're gonna go into ask mode for a second. I think it's Command Shift L. Command L. Yeah. So I'm working on trying to retrieve images from the clipboard, and with the clipboard.getData function, you have to specify the data type. There's a data type like what text plain or whatever, but I don't know what other like formats they are. And because it's a string, I can't really like dig through the source code to figure that out. So do you have any info on that? And then I'm just gonna dump that, and then we're just gonna ask away and let that like go through. Mm-mm. I want to be better. All right, nice, nice, nice. All right, while that's happening, I will be figuring out how this works. So clipboard, clipboard, dot ktext plane. Huh. I wonder if I copy an image and like do that, right? There's no way. Why don't you use pure native? The reason why I don't use pure native is simply because I want to be able to develop like drop this app in multiple different places and not just Windows, right? So we're just using pure native stuff. I'm gonna have to work in like what several code bases. That's not really like to the tune of me. So yeah, if this was like only like what only Windows, I would probably use like C# or something. Just build it in .NET and like chill. Do you know Swift? Not yet. I am planning on participating in the student Swift challenge, meaning I am going to be having to learn Swift very soon. I still don't know how my streaming setup is going to go for that. I might have to need to buy a new MacBook potentially, but we'll see. Uh, let's see. Even though there's data text string, Flutter returns the data text, so there's no image binary field. So format is just image slash JPEG aren't usable via the clipboard to get data. Static, so you pass the format. Okay, should have. You can't get images to Photos Clipboard Get Data API. You need to use native code path. Good news. Okay, that would make sense. All right. I mean, that was just like a good try, I guess. Windows user shame, bro. Guys, bruh. Since when has Windows been a shame, bro? Sorry, I don't want to learn about using Linux, bruh. Like, come on. Mm, image. What am I looking for here? Would be what? Paste, board intent. Bro, I am not using Linux or Mac, bro. How am I supposed to play like games instead? Like, if I was only doing development, sure. Like, okay, Linux is probably like the best way to go with that. But apart from that, like, is it really necessary to do all that? Like, I find it's way too much work. But I am gonna be like potentially doing a Linux challenge. We'll see. Uh, let's see here. What am I curious about here? So we have strategies, lineups. There's something here that I want to look at. Oh, here it is. And I'm looking at the README for the implementations usage. So read images, baseboard.image. What the freaking packet? Oh, you need to read images. Okay, that makes sense. Paste board. Did I import this? I swear to God I did. No. Pubspec.yaml and then pasteboard. I'm gonna go into here and delete this. Gaming, PlayStation, Xbox, or Steam Deck. Steam Deck easily, bro. Like PC is just a superior place to be. You get like all the games for like what? Without having to be locked in. Like, you know how crazy it is that you have to pay to play online on console? They're robbing you guys, bro. This is a crazy thing. You're telling me you're paying 20, $30. Nintendo's crazy about Nintendo Online. You bought the computer to connect to the web. You have to pay? Nah, y'all getting robbed, bro. That's crazy work. I got that video, bro. Are getting robbed. Well, okay. That'd be cool. Is it too late now? Is it too late now? Is it... All right, and then I want to nuke all of my references to the clipboard. Okay, I don't have any reference. Oh no, I want to kill my services reference, and that should be fine. Yep, don't worry about this. We're just gonna comment this out, and we'll be fine. And then I can just bring this here, and then we can do what? Paste board. Yep, and then we can do gets. I mean, files, write image. It has a read image function. Oh, we can just write read images. Okay, I guess. Read images. I'm gonna go to definition of this, bro. Let's go to what? Where's it gonna be at? I just imported the package now. Pasteboard. Can I not import that? And then let's go to the. Oh, it's not defined. I just want how about this dot files? And then I want to go to the definition of this class. And then we can see a bunch of stuff. Yippee! Right? So web dart, and we have all this stuff. Gets files from systems clipboard. So maybe get files is better. Because I think the person nuked the other, which one was get images, which makes sense. I mean, that would make sense. All right. Um, files. And that's this, what? Paths are content URLs. Gets files from system pasteboard. All right. And then what would this be? It's going to be a function. And it returns a list of string, which is going to be the paths of those files. What if it's like just like an ephemeral copy, like how you copy an image? I have to figure this out. I'll probably figure that out like probably later today because I gotta go soon. Yeah, in like what 4 minutes. All right, guys. Looking going to be the end of the stream. I gotta go drop my brother off because I absolutely forgot about the time. So yeah, I'll probably be back what in like 6 hours, 6 or 7 hours. Well, and we'll probably like work on something different. But yeah, nice stream today. Love talking to y'all. If you guys want to talk to me off stream, talk to me on the Discord. But yeah, we'll see y'all later. On me. All right.